Hello, everyone, and a very big welcome back to English Listening and Speaking Practice. I'm your host, Tommy, and I am so happy you are here to practice with me today. How is your English learning going? I hope it's going well. Remember, every time you watch a video like this, you are taking a positive step forward. Today, we have something very special and exciting. We are going to practice our English with the famous story. Have you ever heard of pirates, treasure maps, and secret islands? Well, get ready, because we are diving into the world of Treasure Island. Now, don't worry, this is not the full, long, difficult book. I have created a shorter, simpler version of the story just for you. The English is clear and easy to understand, perfect for A2 and B1 learners. Here's our plan for today. It's simple. First, I am going to tell you the story of Treasure Island. I will speak slowly and clearly so you can relax and just listen. Try to understand the main ideas. Second, after the story, we will look at some important vocabulary. I will teach you some new words and phrases that will make your English sound more natural. And third, we will do some speaking practice together. This is the fun part, where you get to use your voice. We will practice repeating sentences from the story. This is called shadowing, and it's one of the best ways to improve your pronunciation and confidence. Doesn't that sound great? It's a full workout for your English skills. So find a comfortable place, maybe get a cup of tea or coffee, and let's begin our adventure. This is Treasure Island, told just for you. Part 1, The Mysterious Guest. A long, long time ago, in a quiet little village in England, there was a small inn. An inn is like a small old hotel. This inn was called the Admiral Benbow, and it was right by the sea. You could hear the waves and smell the salt in the air. A young boy named Jim Hawkins lived in the inn with his mother and father. Life was usually very quiet and simple. Every day was the same. But one day, everything changed. A strange man arrived at the inn. He was tall and strong, with a long coat and a big, heavy sea chest. His face looked rough, and he had a long, white scar on his cheek. A scar is a mark left on your skin after you get hurt. This man didn't say much. He asked for a room and some rum, which is a strong drink popular with sailors. He spent his days walking on the cliffs, looking out at the sea with a small telescope. It seemed like he was watching for someone, or maybe hiding from someone. He was always very nervous. He told Jim his name was Billy Bones, but he just called himself the captain. The captain was a difficult guest. He drank too much rum and sang loud, old sea songs. His songs were about pirates and fighting, and they scared the other people staying at the inn. One day, the captain pulled Jim aside. He said, "Jim, my boy, I need your help. I need you to keep an eye out for a sailor with one leg, a one-legged man. If you see him, you must tell me immediately." Keep an eye out means to watch carefully for someone or something. The captain promised to give Jim a silver coin every month for his help. Jim was curious and a little scared, but he agreed. He didn't know why the captain was so afraid of a one-legged man, but he knew it was a serious secret. Weeks passed. Jim kept his promise. He watched for the one-legged man, but he never saw him. Then another visitor came. This man was not the one-legged sailor. He was a blind man who used a long stake to walk. His name was Pew. When the captain saw Pew, his face turned completely white. He looked pale, which means his skin had no color because he was so scared. The blind man, Pew, walked straight to the captain. He put something small and black into his hand. It was a piece of paper with a black spot on it. Jim later learned this was the black spot, a message from pirates. It meant danger or even death. After Pew left, the captain stood frozen for a moment. He looked at the black spot in his hand, his eyes wide with terror. He tried to speak, but no words came out. He gasped for air. Then with a loud thud, he collapsed onto the floor. He fell down suddenly. His heart simply gave out. Billy Bones, the mysterious captain, was dead. Part 2. The Treasure Map. After the captain's death, Jim and his mother were in a difficult situation. The captain owed them money for his room and his food. So they decided to open his big, heavy sea chest to find the money he owed them. With trembling hands, they lifted the heavy lid. Inside, they found many interesting things. There were old clothes, a compass, and some pistols. At the bottom of the chest, there was a cloth bag filled with coins. The coins were from many different countries, gold coins from Spain, silver coins from France. But under the coins, they found something else, something much more important. It was a packet of papers tied with a string. Jim opened it. Inside, there was a book and a map. It wasn't just any map. It was a treasure map. The map showed a secret island. On the map, there were drawings of hills, trees, and a bay. And on one part of the island, there was a big red X. Next to the X, words were written, Captain Flint's Treasure. Captain Flint was a famous, fearsome pirate who had died many years ago. Everyone knew stories about his incredible treasure, but no one knew where he had hidden it. Now, Jim Hawkins was holding the map that showed the way. Jim knew this was too big and too dangerous for him and his mother alone. So he decided to get help. He took the map to two men he trusted. The first was Dr. Livesey, a kind and intelligent local doctor. The second was Mr. Trelawney, a rich landowner who loved adventure. When Dr. Livesey and Mr. Trelawney saw the map, their eyes lit up with excitement. A real-life treasure hunt. They couldn't believe it. Right away, they made a plan. Mr. Trelawney said, "I will go to the city of Bristol. I will buy the best ship, hire a crew, and we will sail to this island and find the treasure." And so, their great adventure began. Jim, who was just a boy from a quiet inn, was now going to sail across the ocean to find a pirate's hidden gold. Part 3. The voyage begins. Mr. Trelawney was true to his word. He bought a strong, beautiful ship called the Hispaniola. He also hired a captain to lead the long trip, the voyage. The ship's captain was Captain Smollett. He was a very strict man. He liked rules and order. He was serious, but he was also fair and honest. Jim was allowed to join the crew as the cabin boy. A cabin boy is a young person who helps with small jobs on the ship. Jim was incredibly excited. He packed his small bag and said goodbye to his mother in the old inn. He was about to see the world. Mr. Trelawney had hired many sailors to be the crew of the Hispaniola. One of the most interesting men he hired was the ship's cook. His name was Long John Silver. Long John Silver was a very memorable character. He had only one leg, the other was a wooden crutch that he used to walk, but he moved surprisingly fast. He was always smiling and was very friendly to everyone, especially Jim. He told amazing stories about his time at sea. On his shoulder, he had a pet parrot named Captain Flint. The parrot was always squawking, "Pieces of 8, pieces of 8," which is a type of old coin. Jim really liked Long John Silver. He seems like a kind, funny, and wise old sailor. Everyone on the ship liked him. He was the heart of the crew, always telling jokes and singing songs. But soon, Jim would discover a terrible secret about his new friend. Part 4. The Secret Plan. One evening, Jim wanted an apple. The apples were kept in a big wooden barrel on the deck of the ship. He climbed inside the barrel to get one. It was dark and quiet inside. As he was sitting there, he heard voices. It was Long John Silver talking to some of the other sailors. Jim stayed completely still and listened. And what he heard made his blood run cold. Long John Silver was not the friendly cook he pretended to be. He and many of the other sailors Mr. Trelawney had hired were actually pirates. They were Captain Flint's old crew. Silver was telling them his plan. He said, "We will pretend to be good sailors. We will let Captain Smollett, the doctor, and that rich man find the treasure for us. Then, when the treasure is on the ship, we will take over. We will kill them and take the ship and all the gold for ourselves." The other pirates agreed. They laughed and talked about how rich they would be. Jim was hiding in the apple barrel, terrified. He could hardly breathe. These men, who he thought were his friends, were dangerous criminals. They were planning to mutiny, to take over the ship by force. He waited until they left, then, very quietly, he climbed out of the barrel. His heart was pounding. He knew he had to tell someone. He found Dr. Livesey and Captain Smollett and told them everything he had heard. Now, the honest men knew the truth. They were on a ship with a crew of dangerous pirates sailing to a remote island. They were outnumbered. They had to be very, very careful. The adventure had just become deadly serious. Part 5. Arrival at Treasure Island. After many long weeks at sea, they finally saw it. Treasure Island. The island was beautiful. It was covered in green trees and tall hills. It looked peaceful and quiet from the ship. But Jim and his friends knew that danger was waiting for them. Long John Silver and the other pirates were excited to go ashore. They couldn't wait to find the gold. Captain Smollett allowed some of the crew to take a small boat to the island for the afternoon. Jim decided to go with them. Once on the island, Jim felt a strong need to get away from the pirates. He quietly walked off into the forest alone. The forest was dense and wild. As Jim was exploring, he suddenly saw something moving behind the trees. It was a man. The man looked very wild. He was wearing old, torn clothes made from sailcloth. His skin was dark from the sun, and his eyes were bright and a little crazy. Jim was scared at first, but the man seemed more scared of him. "Who are you?" the man asked, his voice shaky. "I'm Jim Hawkins," Jim replied. The man was so happy to see another person. He told Jim his name was Ben Gunn. He used to be a pirate on Captain Flint's ship, but 3 years ago, his pirate friends had left him all alone on the island as a punishment. He had been living there by himself for 3 whole years, eating berries, fish, and wild goats. Ben Gunn was strange, but he seemed kind. And then he told Jim a huge secret. He whispered, "I am a rich man, Jim. I am very, very rich." He explained that months ago, he had found Captain Flint's treasure all by himself. He had spent weeks digging it up and moving it from the place on the map to a secret cave he knew. The X on the map now marked an empty hole. The real treasure was safe with Ben Gunn. He promised to help Jim and his friends fight the pirates. But he had one condition. If they won, they had to promise to take him home to England. Jim quickly agreed. He now had a new, secret ally on the island. Part 6. The Fight for the Treasure. While Jim was with Ben Gunn, the situation got much worse. Long John Silver and the other pirates realized that their secret plan was discovered. The fight had begun. The pirates took control of the Hispaniola. Captain Smollett, Dr. Livesley, Mr. Trelawney, and the few other loyal men were now trapped on the island. Luckily, they found a safe place. It was an old wooden fort, like a small, strong house built by Captain Flint years ago. They moved into the fort with their guns and supplies. This fort was their only hope. The pirates, led by Long John Silver, attacked the fort. They wanted the treasure map. Gunshots echoed through the quiet island. It was a fierce battle. Jim and his friends were brave, and they successfully defended the fort. The pirates could not get in. During this time, Jim did something incredibly brave. He found Ben Gunn's small handmade boat. It was very light and round. Under the cover of darkness, he paddled out to the Hispaniola. He climbed onto the ship, where he had to fight one of the pirates who was guarding it. After a dangerous struggle, Jim won. He cut the ship's anchor rope and sailed the Hispaniola to a secret hidden bay where the pirates couldn't find it. He had captured their ship. When Jim returned to the fort and told his friends what he had done, they were amazed. He was no longer just a boy. He was a hero. Later, Long John Silver tried to make a deal. He saw that his side was losing. He tried to act friendly again and change sides. But this time, no one trusted him. Finally, the pirates got the treasure map. They were so excited. They followed the map to the big X. They started digging, dreaming of all the gold. They dug and dug, but when they opened the hole, they found
Nothing. It was empty. The treasure was gone. The pirates were furious and confused. They had been tricked. At that moment, Dr. Livesley and Ben Gunn appeared and attacked the surprised pirates. The fight was finally over. The good men had won.
Part 7. A New Life. Now, the adventure was truly nearing its end. Ben Gunn led Jim and the others to his secret cave. When they entered the cave, they couldn't believe their eyes. There it was, Captain Flint's treasure. It was a huge pile of gold coins, silver bars, sparkling jewels, and ivory. There was more treasure than they had ever imagined. It took them several days to carry all the treasure from the cave to the Hispaniola. They were all exhausted, but incredibly happy. They decided to leave 3 of the pirates behind on the island. It was a kinder fate than hanging them. They left them with some supplies. What about Long John Silver? He had helped them at the very end, so they took him on the ship. But nobody trusted him. One night, during their voyage home, Long John Silver disappeared. He had quietly taken a small boat and 1 bag of treasure and escaped. They never saw him again. The rest of the journey back to England was safe. When they arrived, they were all rich men. They shared the treasure fairly. But for Jim, the treasure was not the most important thing. He had left home as a quiet boy from an inn. He returned as a young man who had faced danger, who had seen greed and cruelty, but who had also learned about courage, friendship, and loyalty. The adventure had changed him forever. And he would never forget the sounds, the smells, and the secrets of Treasure Island. Wow, what an adventure! I hope you enjoyed that story. It's a classic for a reason. Listening to stories is such a wonderful way to learn a language. You did a great job of listening for a long time. Okay, now for part 2 of our lesson. Let's learn some of the most useful words and phrases from the story. Learning vocabulary in context from a story helps you remember it much better. Are you ready to build your vocabulary? Excellent! Let's begin. Vocabulary and speaking practice. For each word or phrase, I will do 4 things. I'll say the word. I'll give you a simple definition. I'll give you an example. Then it's your turn to speak. I will say the word or a sentence, and you repeat after me. This is your shadowing practice. Let's go. By the sea. Meaning, this simply means next to the ocean or the coast. From the story, the Admiral Benbow Inn was by the sea. Example, I would love to live in a small house by the sea. Your turn. Repeat after me. By the sea. Good. Now a full sentence. My hotel is by the sea. Fantastic. Inn. Meaning,
An inn is a small hotel, usually in the countryside or a small town. They are often old and cozy. From the story, Jim Hawkins lived with his parents at the Admiral Benbow Inn. Example: we stopped for lunch at a lovely country inn. Your turn. Repeat after me. Inn. Let's stay at an inn tonight. Well done. Scar. Meaning, a mark on your skin that is left after a cut or an injury has healed. From the story, Billy Bones had a long white scar on his cheek. Example: the actor has a small scar above his eye. Your turn. Repeat after me. Scar. He has a scar from a childhood accident. Perfect. Nervous. Meaning, feeling worried, anxious, or a little scared about something. From the story, Billy Bones always looked nervous, like he was waiting for something bad to happen. Example: I always feel nervous before a big exam. Your turn. Repeat after me. Nervous. Don't be nervous. You will do great. Excellent. Keep an eye out. Meaning, this is a great phrase. It means to watch carefully for someone or something. From the story, Billy told Jim to keep an eye out for a one-legged man. Example: can you keep an eye out for the mailman? I'm waiting for a package. Your turn. Repeat after me. Keep an eye out. Please keep an eye out for my dog. Great job.
Collapse, meaning to fall down suddenly, usually because you are sick, tired, or shocked. From the story, when Billy saw the black spot, he collapsed on the floor. Example: after running the marathon, the runner collapsed from exhaustion. Your turn. Repeat after me. Collapse. He felt so weak, he was afraid he would collapse. Very good. Treasure, meaning a collection of valuable things like gold, silver, and jewels. From the story, they found Captain Flint's hidden treasure. Example: the pirates searched for buried treasure. Your turn. Repeat after me. Treasure. The map leads to the treasure. Wonderful. Voyage, meaning a long journey, especially by ship or in space. From the story, the Hispaniola was ready for a long voyage across the ocean. Example: their voyage to Australia took 6 weeks. Your turn. Repeat after me. Voyage. It was a long and difficult voyage. You're doing so well.
Crew, meaning the group of people who work on a ship, airplane, or train. From the story, Long John Silver and most of the crew were secretly pirates. Example: the captain thanked his crew for their hard work. Your turn. Repeat after me. Crew. He is a member of the ship's crew. Fantastic. Take over, meaning to take control of something, often by force. From the story, the pirates planned to take over the ship. Example: a new company is going to take over our business. Your turn. Repeat after me. Take over. The rebels tried to take over the city. Excellent pronunciation. Loyal, meaning someone who is loyal is someone who is always faithful and supportive of a person, a country, or an idea. They don't betray you. From the story, Captain Smollett and a few other loyal men fought against the pirates. Example: my dog is very loyal. He always stays by my side. Your turn. Repeat after me. Loyal. She is a very loyal friend. Perfect. Trick, meaning to deceive someone, to make someone believe something that is not true to get what you want. From the story, the pirates felt tricked when they found the empty hole. Example: he tricked me into giving him my password. Your turn. Repeat after me. Trick. Don't let him trick you. Amazing work. You are a star.
And there you have it. You have completed a full English practice session. You listened to a long story. You learned 12 new and useful words and phrases. And most importantly, you practiced speaking. You should be very proud of yourself. This is how you get better at English, not by studying boring grammar rules all day, but by using the language in a fun and interesting way. Step by step, little by little, you are building your skills and your confidence. Thank you so much for joining me today on English Listening and Speaking Practice. If you found this video helpful and you enjoyed our adventure to Treasure Island, could you please do me a small favor? Hit the like button below. It really helps the channel grow. And for more practice videos like this one, make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell. That way, you won't miss our next lesson together. I would also love to hear from you. Leave a comment below. You can say hello, tell me where you are from, or you can even try to use one of our new vocabulary words in a sentence. I read all the comments. That's all for today. Keep practicing, stay curious, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.